common problem at the moment, which is the cost to put buildings up. It's really important that you get the sheet nice and flat. I mean, you need a good stack to start off with, so one comment we've always had on the channel over the years is, Ollie, your straw bales are always mouldy when you bring them in from the field. Well, hopefully people won't be able to. Hi everyone, welcome back to the farm. So yesterday evening we were flat out carting these bales over into this corner to make the bale stack here with the telehandler and the front loader, the loader tractor. And this year we're going to do something a little bit different, which is cover the bales. So a lot of you have said in the comments section over the years, Ollie, you know, your bales are getting damaged, don't leave them outside, you know, you're wasting a lot of straw. So I've got Rob here from Agritel, who's going to show us how to put this cover on. So here's Rob. How's it going, Rob? You all right?
Hi, yeah, thanks for having us here, Ollie. So yeah, we bought one of our 12 by 25 metre covers with us, which will cover up to 200 round bales. So I think we've got about 90 in this stack at the moment. So we'll try and just get this onto the one side, then we'll fold it back, and then if you want to bring more bales in here, it'll just allow you to do that. And it's really a product that we pioneered over the last 7 years for covering straw initially, and then we've had great success with people covering hay with these as well. And they're kind of solving a pretty common problem at the moment, which is the cost to put buildings up you know, has made shed space a lot more valuable. And then also, you know, it doesn't matter really the size of your farm these days. You know, everybody knows how key efficiencies are. It costs so much to produce straw and hay, and it costs so much if you need to buy it in as well. You know, I think people have got very wise to the fact that you just can't afford wastage anymore, and for, you know, the cost of one of these sheets under 400 quid, it's kind of a no-brainer in terms of, you know, you using them really. So it's important when you are using them, and this is what we'll go through today, it's not a tarpaulin. So if you look at your alternatives for covering a stack, you know, people typically use maybe a silage sheet, tarpaulin, lorry curtains, whatever, but obviously not that permeable to the wind. And because of that, if they're going to come off, they'll normally come off at the worst possible time. So, you know, in the middle of a storm or in the middle of a couple of weeks of rain and bad weather, when a lot of the damage is done. And the beauty of these is they're breathable. You have to put them on correctly. You have to get an angle on them. You have to get them well tensioned across the stack. But you know, if you do that, if you work with the sheet, it's not a particularly complicated item. But you know, if you do that, they work fantastically well. You know, we have people who've left straw under these for 6-9 months, and it's come out as good as it's gone in. But it does work in a different way. It allows the stack to breathe. It has a kind of wicking effect on the stack, and acts almost like a skin over the bale. And it just rain will either peel on the sheet, run through the sheet, or it will sometimes even the underside of the sheet will feel wet. But it's you know, it breathes, and the bales will dry, you know, and any moisture is allowed to escape off the bales.
Well, I had a couple of comments in the comment section. People were saying about the tarpaulin can actually sweat, and that's what causes the bales to mould.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If your tarpaulin or your silage sheet stays on, you know, that's great. But then the next issue you'll get is condensation running down the inside of the sheet, and then you still get mould on your bales. You don't get that with these sheets. So we started off, I mean, these have been used in Western Europe now. They're fairly commonplace for over 20 years.
All right, so we'll cover the bale stack now with the breathable cover, and then we'll weight it down afterwards with the bags, the weighted bags, and we'll see how long it takes.
Okay, right, so if you can get that out.
Well, there we go, that's the cover on. Literally just took about 5 minutes. So cover's on, and I've got the sandbags, which are actually could fill them up with sand. We put the gravel in from the farmyard, and they are about to be hung on the side of the cover to keep the tension. So it's like a pyramid basically, and that's what keeps the water off. Isn't that right, Rob?
That's right, yeah. So it's really important that you get the sheet nice and flat. I mean, you need a good stack to start off with, so no gaps in between the bales, everything nice and uniform like we've got here, and then it's just a case of just keeping the sheet nice and flat across the stack,
And
well tensioned.
The weight is what keeps the tension, is that right?
The weight is what keeps the tension.
Yeah, and then that Velcro will attach to the cover, which I was quite surprised by, because I didn't think the Velcro would be man enough to keep it on the cover, but obviously
it's incredibly strong. I mean, you can strap me to the side of there with it if you really want to.
Is that right? Is it?
Prove a point. We can do that if you like, as long as you don't leave me there.
No, right, bloody hell.
Yeah, you get a really strong fixing. In terms of the Velcro, you literally just stick it down one way and then stick it back up the other way like a V shape, and then I mean you can just hang the gravel bag directly onto there, but I've grabbed you some clips, which a lot of people do, and then you literally just fix that on, and then we'll just attach the gravel bag onto there.
Okay, and that's one done, and then we'll do the rest.
Yeah. Well, the original use of these was to cover sugar beet around 40 years ago, and that remains the case certainly in Germany today, where they're paid a premium if they cover the sheets, if they cover sugar beet with the sheets, because the beet retains its sugar content, and it was only then that the people who were using to cover sugar beet they had covers left around the farm. They then started covering straw with the covers and found that they worked really well, and that's how they evolved from a sugar beet cover to a straw cover basically. And initially the first use of the sheets the sheets in this country was for British sugar, and I believe they used to subsidise their use for by farmers to cover sugar beet.
So we could cover the fodder beet with this then in the winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well that would be brilliant, because I'm always up there with a pitchfork and a bale rolling around trying to cover the clamp, and then when we come to feed it out, sometimes straw goes in the bucket and it blocks up the bucket, and the KW bucket is great, but it does not like straw, because it's not a straw bucket, it's a beet bucket. And that would be a game changer if it could protect the fodder beet and make it last longer and stop the frost getting to it. That would just be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because it's breathable on the fodder beet, I suppose it would prevent the moisture in the
100%, and that's the difference. That's why you wouldn't throw a tarpaulin or a silage sheet over it or anything else. This is completely breathable, so it stops the frost. But then at the same time it allows what it's covering to breathe, and that's why we've seen more people now as well using it to cover other things such as wood chip and such like. Really.
We were talking about as well covering the 135 as well, boats and things like that. You cover anything with it.
Yeah. These have been adapted.
Cover.
Now I understand that in some countries they're using them as boat covers as well, and it's a simple concept in terms of what it is.
And you're a Shropshire chap, aren't you? From Shropshire?
That's right, yeah.
Originally,
proudly from Oswestry in North Shropshire.
Yeah. I had many generations of Roberts farming over there, so you're from the home county.
It was really interesting having a chat with your dad last night. Obviously a connection to Fulwood, who were based in Ellesmere as well. So but we're that's where we're from. Great part of the world.
Yeah, lovely part of the world. And you got Martin Evans on your doorstep, haven't you? The agricultural contractor. I was watching a great Grassman video of that the other day, and it's just lovely county, lovely part of the world where you're from. So I will have to get off the farm and come and visit Shropshire.
You should do.
Yeah, it's a lovely county. So there you go. So that is the stack now covered. Thanks, Rob. This is brilliant, awesome. First time ever covering our bales on the farm, and I will let you know in 6 months' time when we're unloading all this in the winter time how the bales have been kept, and hopefully they'll be in good condition.
I hope so too. I mean, we've done a great job on it. It looks it looks really good, and it's well and truly proofed, I'd say, against the weather now. So look forward to seeing how you get on with it.
Because we'll have a lot of rain in September onwards, really, I think, through the winter time.
Yeah.
And you know, it's going to hopefully save the farm a lot of straw. So yeah, huge thanks. And you've got to drive all the way back to Oswestry now, haven't you?
Yeah, it's 4.5 hours now, so yeah, plenty of driving time, but great to get out, great to see it looking so good, and that's going to last really well. So yeah, really enjoyed it, thank you.
And I've got another one to do at the farmyard, but you've got a box here which we've dropped off, which I'll do later in the week. I'll get some friends down to the farm, and you've taught me a lot with this one, so I'll try and emulate this on the other part of the farm.
Yeah, I'll be watching that very closely.
Yeah, okay, we'll put it.
Make sure you do a good job on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll put it on YouTube as well, and yeah, we'll try and do the one in the farmyard as well, as good as this, if we can do it as good as this. But we had an expert today helping us, so we were cheating today a bit. But one comment we've always had on the channel over the years is, Ollie, your straw bales are always mouldy when you bring them in from the field. Well, hopefully people won't be able to say that anymore. Yeah. So done a great job. Thanks very much.
Great.
Fantastic. Cheers.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, well, thanks for that, Rob. Rob is now on his way back to Oswestry, and I've now come up here. We are, as you can see, father and son team, stacking the bales, ready for planting turnips. So the turnips will be on this field literally in the next couple of days. We're going to get the bales off first, which is why we've come up here. So we've got the single bale spike on that tractor, and if I eventually get across these tram lines, we'll be able to go and pick this bale up. But yeah, really happy that this year we've managed to finally start the bale. So I've got to put the aircon on because it is just so hot at the moment. Yeah, just really happy that we've been able to actually protect the bales this year. These two stacks will be going to the side of the field. We've got another one to tarp in the farmyard, and of course, most importantly, protecting the fodder beet clamp in the winter time will be really important. So just over there actually is the sugar beet factory, Cantley sugar beet factory, just over there. Well, we've nearly done all the field. We've done about half of this one today, and I've just left to turn the teleporter off there. We've stacked these ones which will be fed out over the winter months. Of course, unfortunately, these ones aren't undercover, so these will be out in the elements, and it will be a good experiment to see how these age in the wind and rain against the ones we've covered up today with the Agritel cover. Another problem as well can be the cover. You know, some people are saying the cover will sweat, and then that then creates a habitat for mold. However, with the Agritel, it is breathable, so it's like a breathable membrane basically, and it actually allows the bales to sweat. You know, just little things like that, which Rob from Agritel had worked out. So I'm hoping it will work really well. This has now got to be cultivated, so we'll put the cultivator on one of the tractors tomorrow morning. I've still got about 200 or 300 bales to bring in, and we're going to make another stack on the other side of the farm and put another Agritel cover over it basically, and put the weight bags down to try and weight the cover down so that come the winter, when there's a storm, the cover will stay on there. So from myself here on the farm on this lovely summer's evening, cart the rest of those bales in, stack them to one side, fodder beet's growing, and we'll try and put a cover on the fodder beet when it's harvested as well, which will be quite interesting to protect the fodder beet rather than put straw on it and then bung up the grinder bucket with straw. So it will work really well, I think, for the fodder beet as well, if it does survive this drought which we've currently got at the moment. So yeah, thanks for watching, keep liking and subscribing. I'm going to move these bales, and I'll catch you in the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Ollie's Farm video.